I did a drug called Molly, right? MDMA, whatever, ecstasy. I'm not a big drug guy. I would go to this thing called Burning Man, but I've never been a big drug guy in my life, right? Drink a little bit, but I've never done any like the hard stuff. And but what it does is it gives you this super boost of like, I guess it's serotonin or something like that. And it was for the first time in my life, I felt like way excess feelings of happiness, right? Like my tank was full and then some. And the enlightening experience I came out of it with was when I had that excess, I didn't want to hold it. I literally was calling friends and going, oh my God, I love you. You're the best, this, that, the other. That's what I did with my extra. I didn't store it. I didn't put it in a fucking bank vault. I did nothing but give it away. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool that if I can get myself to full, what I'll do without anybody pushing me is try to get other people to full. You know? And
that's a hell of a realization.
I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people.
I don't think you are either. I think that's how it is.
So does that mean that we're inherently good if we can just get to full?
Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, look, it does seem to me, you put your finger on something that's exactly right there, I think, is that, you know, you had intense enough joy so that you wanted to share it. That's what happened. You didn't want to keep it all for yourself. And there is intense joy in making other people happy. I mean, look, you're a comedian. What are you trying to do? You're trying to make other people happy. That's your goal. Why is that so rewarding? I mean, partly it's because there's a recognition by the crowd of your value. You're
100%.
witty, you're sharp, you're creative, you know, and that's reassuring and flattering. But that isn't the essence of it. The essence of it has to be that you're there to serve the audience. You're paying attention to the audience. You want their approval.
Yes.
But not in a false way. You actually want to be funny. You want to provide something of value.
Yep.
And if that's genuine, they're going to see that in you, especially if you work hard at it. And then that is rewarding.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Approval, but on my terms. Right? It's like I won't go for the easiest thing to get approval. I often choose the hardest thing. And that is my own little, like, for lack of a better word, like intellectual stimulation that I get from
and the
hardest
hardest thing in what way?
Like I would prefer the topic that is the least funny.
So you set a challenge in your path.
Yes. Now I know the audience might not, maybe subconsciously they appreciate it. The audience might not know on a conscious level, but for me, that's the challenge. You know, it's like
I saw Jack White it was from the White Stripes. Jack White, I got that right.
Yeah.
My memory has some holes in it. So, and in any case, I saw a documentary he made, and he talked about the way he set up his stage. And first of all, he had this old guitar, like it was just beat to death, and it didn't stay in tune. So he had to tune it up all the time while he was playing, or it would go out of tune.
Right.
And then he would put instruments in places that were difficult to get at on the stage. And he did all that, at least in part, because it kept him sharp while he was performing. He had to pay attention, intense attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
And that heightened what would it say? Because he had to pay so much attention, it heightened his creative ability.
Yeah, his awareness.
And
he was
the
focused.
intensity of the performance. It sounds like you're doing something that's quite similar.
Yeah, 100%. I almost look at it weirdly, like, you know, diving in the Olympics. You know how like you not only get judged on how clean the dive was, but also the level of difficulty of the dive.
Right.
Like everybody can just dive straight into the pool. But like if you want to do a few backflips and then dive into the pool clean, you know, you're going to raise the stakes. And then the comedians that I've always looked up to, and weirdly enough, someone who I think has a lot in common with you, my favorite ever is Patrice O'Neill, right? And the thing about Patrice is like almost to a fault, he lived his truth. So when I'm reading your stuff about like telling the truth and like the most adventurous thing you can do is tell the truth. Right?
What do you think about that idea?
It's fucking great. I love it.
Why? Because I've been really thinking about that again lately. I put a little Instagram clip out from a podcast with Chris Williamson.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, because I've been thinking all these political movements, you know, Black Lives Matter and Antifa and the right wing identity politics, white supremacist types, they're all offering this kind of romantic adventure, right? You can join this revolutionary group and take yourself out of your mundane day-to-day existence. And there's a real attraction in that. And it's very difficult for mainstream political ideas to compete with that, because people need an adventure, especially young people. You need an adventure, man. That's your life. But I do believe that there isn't any more intense adventure than saying what you believe to be true, because you just don't know, because you have to let go of what's going to happen, and you don't know what's going to happen.
And what you say that's true.
I don't know if I would recommend it, but it's certainly not dull.
It's not dull, and it's not realistic. I think in a lot of ways, like Patrice sabotaged himself. There's a comic named Jim Norton that said it brilliantly. Like, he lived his life as if he was going to have to watch a movie of it with his 3 best friends afterwards. Like, they were going to be there and call him out on every fraudulent thing that he did. Right? So instead, he told the truth. So when he watched the movie with all them, he could be like, nah, that was me. I really felt that way about that person in that time, right? But the problem with, obviously there are certain problems with telling the truth all the time. Like, sometimes the things that we feel are not acceptable, right? We might feel something that's not publicly acceptable. And I think that your workaround for that was, well, you don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to say out loud everything you feel. But if somebody's asking you something, like, what if my friend is like, hey, how was my set? This is a person I love, a person I want to do better at comedy. Do I tell them that it sucked? That will be the best thing for them, maybe. Maybe they'll work harder on the jokes. Maybe they'll get better. You know, like, do I have a sit down with my mom, and do I tell her that she's annoying me when she's calling and asking for help? I feel guilty that it's annoying. That's on me. So it's like,
but you can have that conversation too, right? You can say, this is a good way of having a conversation with someone you love. It's like, it turns out that there's something you're doing that's bothering me, but that might be because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
So you're either annoying or I'm stupid. Let's figure it out, because if you're annoying, I want you to stop, because I don't want to be annoyed with you. But if I'm stupid, then you should tell me, because I don't want to be stupid. And that's like, you can tell the truth without claiming omnipotence. You know, it's not that you're right. It's just that that's what you think. And so, but you do want to be corrected if you have any sense, because why would you want to lug your stupidity forward?
Yes.
Apart from the fact that it's painful to confront. I mean, and it is.
Yeah.
But it's not as painful as lugging it forward. So then you're stupid forever. That's not advisable.